Hi, my name is Royce Reid. I'm a personal trainer based in Launceston, Tasmania. Today I'm going to be showing you 3 common pull-up errors and let's get into it.
I'm working, I wanna be great, yeah. Working, I wanna be paid, yeah. Every decision I made, yeah. I ain't ever been afraid, nah. I'm always trying new things, yeah. That's how you grow and succeed.
Okay, so the first area or error that we're going to recognise here is not using a full range of motion when completing your pull-up repetitions. So your full repetition will look like this, with your hands further apart, making sure your chin comes above the bar, and then your arms lock out at the bottom at each repetition before performing the next. Okay, when we're using a partial range of motion, we shorten that length so our muscles don't get worked and developed at the same rate. So you cheat yourself slightly. So what using partial range of motion might look like this. So we come all the way up, but we only come maybe halfway down before pulling up again. Or it might be another way. So we'll grab on and then we won't come all the way and then come back down again. So this can mean a couple of things. First one being is that you might not have quite enough strength to perform the repetition fully yet. So instead of locking out at the bottom and finishing halfway, you might be scared that if you do lock out, you're not going to be able to pull up again, which makes complete sense. But all I'd say to that is do a slightly easier variation first, build up the strength, and then you can eventually do that one. So what that might look like is this. You'll jump yourself up to the top of the repetition, and then you can lower yourself down nice and slowly, as slow as you can. Everyone's at their own speed. All that's going to do is develop your strength to eventually pull up perform the pull-up repetition in its full range of motion rather than cheating yourself. So in the end, you're getting the most benefit out of the exercise as what you possibly can. Okay, so the next quote-unquote error we're going to look at, this one isn't as much of a big deal, but this might be something you might do to improve your technique once you've got it under control a lot better. It's all that we're going to be focusing on here is crossing the legs over to stabilize the whole body when you're doing your repetition. So a lot of people do this as common practice to stop their body swinging around when they're performing the pull-up. So they might notice their legs shifting apart. So what they'll do is cross them over, push them in opposite directions to keep their body nice and stable, which, you know, makes sense in a lot of terms. But notice how my hip position changes as soon as I drop that foot back. So my left hip now has dropped back, forcing my right hip forward, which is then going to alter my back position before starting the pull-up. Might not make a huge difference, but you do it time and time after again. You're unconsciously working one side than you are another one. So instead of crossing the legs over at the bottom, focus on keeping the feet close and nice together, keeping a slight hollow body arch, and controlling through your core the entire time. So inherently, while it's not a terribly bad technique, it's just better to practice having your feet together rather than crossed over, force that hip back further. Okay, so the third error or mistake we're going to focus on here is the thought that we have to pull our shoulders towards our hands instead of driving our elbows down towards our rear pockets. So what this is going to allow, the second option, driving our elbows towards our pockets, is using a lot more of our back rather than pulling with our arms. I'll demonstrate here so you can see the difference. First one, when I think about driving my shoulders towards my hands, I'm very hunched over and there's a lot of arm involvement there. I'm not really using any of my back. So when we think about that second technique, we want to go a little bit wider. I'm going to be a lot more open before I start. So instead of hunching forward, I'm going to lean back and think about driving my elbows down and backwards like so. So see how I'm, driving my elbows back towards those pockets, and now I'm using a lot of the muscles in my back. So instead of hunching over from the start, I want to open up through the back and drive those elbows backwards and down as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found some of those tips insightful and you incorporate that into your own training. If there's anything else you'd like to see in a future video, please let me know in a comment down below. I'd really appreciate that. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well, so you get notified of all my videos that I release in the future. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everyone.